Sprack. A cup of cider. Whack. Mark sent the soccer ball sailing down his front lawn. Goal! He cheered with both arms in the air, and he jumped to fetch his ball. He noticed that his neighbor, Mia, wasn't getting much business at her warm apple cider stand. Warm cider for sale, Mia yelled from across the street. Do you want some warm cider, Mark? No, thanks, Mark called back. Mark didn't really like warm cider. Besides, he was thirsty for a cold drink. As Mark continued for practice for his big game the next day, he wondered about Mia's regular Saturday morning customers. Where are the kids and the joggers and the bike riders? Then he remembered that it was a holiday weekend. People are probably out of town. After nearly an hour of dribbling and kicking, Mark finished his practice. He had glanced at Mia several times, but she never received customers. Looking at her own last time, he went inside to get 50 cents from his mom. A few moments later, he was at the Mia stand. I'll take a cup of cider. Mark handed Mia the money. Really? Squealed Mia, dropping the coins into her jar. Mia, her mother called from the front door. Time to come inside. Okay, Mia called back to her mother before turning back to her customers. Thanks, Mark. No sweat. A favorite sweater. Inside her house, Mia's mother was reading the newspaper. Oh, goodness. It's going to get cold tomorrow night. I'm so glad your father fixed the furnace at last weekend. Mia still beaming thought for a moment before turning to her mother. Mom, what about all of those people who don't have heat or any warm place to stay at all? What do you mean, dear? Mia paused for a moment and then pulled off her sweater. Oh, Mama, I love this sweater. I wear it almost every day, but it's getting too small. Maybe it's time for it to be another little girl favorite. Mia's mother smiled. I think that's an excellent idea. I'll meet you upstairs with some bags. I'm sure the donation center is open for a few more hours. A lost key. Mia and her mother filled 2 bags with warm clothes and hopped in the car. Only the way over the donation center. Mia's mother slammed on the brakes. Mama, what's wrong? A small kitten walked slowly in front of the car. Do you think it's lost? Mia continued. I haven't seen a house in a while, and this is a busy street. Let's take the kitten to the animal rescue center, where it will be safe. Mia's mom jumped out of the car, scooped up the kitten, and placed it on Mia's lap. It's so tiny, said Mia, and she gently stroked the kitten, and it's shaking. A thank you tip. And who do you belong to, little kitty? Asked the young man from behind the desk at the rescue center. He wore a name tag that read, Dawn. We don't know, said Mia. It was lost on Highway 54, continued Mia's mother. You were right to bring it here, Dawn said, scooping the kitten from Mia's arms. We'll take good care of it, and I'm sure its owner will check in soon. Mia and her mother felt relieved, and the kitten was safe and off the street. For the next several hours, Dawn bathed, fed, and soothed the kitten. When its owner finally came for their pet, Dawn and the kitten were tangled in a ball of yarn. Charlie, a young boy, rushed toward the kitten. "Thank goodness he's safe," sighed the boy's mother. "And thank goodness someone found him and brought him here." After the woman donated some money to the center for the kitten's care, she reached again for her wallet. "Oh, no, you don't need to do that," Dawn pleaded, shaking his hand in front of her. "I'm a volunteer, but I insist," the woman said. "You take such good care of our Carlia." She handed Dawn a tip. A snack. When Dawn left the shelter that evening, he met his friends after the skating rink. The friends taught each other new skating moves. They raced, and others made up funny dance moves to set to the loud music. "Let's take a break. Anyone up for hot cocoa and popcorn?" Dawn asked. At the snack bar, everyone put out his or her money. Everyone but Rosaria. Dawn knew her family was going through some hard times, and she didn't have any extra money for snacks. Dawn, however, did because of the tip he received from the woman and the shelter. He planned on putting it toward the digital music player he was saving up for. But Rosaria was his friend. Consequently, Dawn certainly slipped a couple dollars into Rosaria's hand. "Thanks," Rosaria whispered to Dawn, blushing. A song. The next morning, Rosaria's mother made pancakes for breakfast. "Now, are my quickies today?" she asked her daughters. "Great," Rosaria chirped. "Horrible," Anne whined. "For the 3 weeks I've been sitting home with his broken leg. I'm bored out of my mind. My leg itches, and I'm missing another soccer game." Rosaria's smile fell. Usually Anne annoyed Rosaria, but today she made Rosaria think. While she ate her pancakes in silence, she thought about how the cloud could make Anna happy. After breakfast, Rosaria invited Anna to her room, which was normally off limits. "Sit down, Anne, I'm going to give you a concert." Rosaria pulled out the guitar. "Are you serious?" Anna squealed. "You never let me hear you play." Rosaria played slow songs, fast songs, even a song she wrote. When the concert was over, Rosaria gave Anne one final treat. She taught her sister to play 3 guitar chords. With these 3 chords, you can play tons of songs. Rosaria said. Anna was so happy she could burst. A letter. Anna was so engrossed with the guitar concert that nearly forgot about the soccer game she was missing. Once Rosaria left, she thought about her team and her amazing coach. So she pulled out a piece of stationery and began to write. Dear Coach Jake, I am miserable that I can't finish the second, but I want to thank you for teaching me so such about soccer and for about me. I am faster than stronger and tougher than I ever thought before. See you never, Susan Anna. Anna hobbled to the mailbox in front of the house and mailed her letter. A blanket. That afternoon, Mark arrived nearly at the soccer field to practice. His dad and the grandmother came to watch the game. Hey, Mark. Hello, Mr. Jones. 今天 And who is this? Coach Jake held his hand out for Mark's grandmother to shake. Hello, dear. Grandma smiled. I've heard so much about you, Coach Jake. No kidding. Well, I'm glad you could make it. Mark's quite a player. You know, Coach paused then, looked closer at Grandma. Are you cold, Mama? You are shivering. You know, dear, I'm a bit chilly, Grandma said. Hold on a second. Coach Jake dashed to his car. When he returned, he placed a plaid wool blanket on Grandma's lap. Wow, aren't you thoughtful? I sure do appreciate this, Coach, Grandma said with a big smile. Sprack. Thanks for going that for my grandma, Coach Jake. Mark and Coach Jake trudged out to the field to practice. Hey, it was nothing. I'm in the mood, Jake replied. You're in the mood to what? Mark asked. You know, spark, spread, random acts of kindness. It feels good to think about others. I've been hurt of a sprack, laughed Mark. I still sprack all the time, man. Remember last week when that little kid dropped his worm pretzel and cried. You went over and made him laugh. And a few weeks ago, when it was warm, you poured water into a cup of that got to drink. I felt like spreading some kindness today too. Kodrick had it bottled and bottled to Mark. Cool, Mark said, as he caught the ball on his foot and dribbling toward the goal. Yeah, it is cool to break. Now, let's see what you have got.